The icy mountain wind felt like it wanted to erase every footprint, every memory, and every hope. Nathan clutched his worn backpack as snow drifted across the abandoned forest road in northern Montana. His 8-year-old daughter, Grace, was safe with a trusted neighbor hundreds of miles away, but his heart remained heavy with guilt for leaving her behind while he accepted a temporary construction job that promised enough money to save their tiny home from foreclosure. Then disaster struck. A sudden blizzard trapped every worker at a remote emergency shelter after a bridge collapsed, cutting them off from the outside world. Food was limited, heat barely worked, and there were not enough sleeping bags for everyone. The proud owner of the construction company, Victoria Collins, who had always appeared distant and impossible to approach, quietly handed the last sleeping bag to an elderly worker before realizing there was nothing left for herself. As temperatures continued to fall through the night, Nathan silently spread his own sleeping bag across the cold wooden floor and shared it with the woman who had been his boss for only a week. Hours later, surrounded by darkness and silence, she softly asked if he was still awake, beginning a night that would change both of their lives forever. If you believe kindness and second chances can change someone's life, please like this video, leave a comment, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel Kindness Forever. Your support helps these inspiring stories reach more hearts every day. Nathan had never imagined that life would become so difficult. After losing his wife to illness 3 years earlier, every sunrise became another battle to stay strong for Grace. He worked wherever he could, often traveling across the United States for temporary construction jobs while neighbors cared for his daughter during school breaks. Every paycheck disappeared into medical debt, groceries, and mortgage payments. Still, he refused to complain because Grace's smile reminded him that giving up was never an option. His co-workers respected him because he always volunteered for the hardest tasks without expecting praise. Victoria, however, barely knew his story. She was known as a strict executive who demanded perfection, believing emotions only distracted people from success. Employees admired her achievements but feared her cold professionalism. When the blizzard stranded everyone inside the emergency shelter, titles and salaries suddenly meant nothing. The freezing air slipped through broken windows, and frightened workers huddled together, hoping rescue teams could reach them before another storm arrived. Nathan noticed Victoria trying to hide her shivering while pretending everything was under control. Without making a scene, he offered to share his sleeping bag so both of them could survive the brutal night. She hesitated, embarrassed that the man earning the smallest paycheck was now protecting the company's owner. The shelter remained silent except for the howling wind outside, and as the hours passed, both of them stared into the darkness, unable to sleep. Victoria quietly admitted that she had spent years building a successful business but had slowly lost everyone who truly mattered. Endless meetings replaced family dinners. Financial victories replaced friendships. She confessed that she no longer remembered the last time someone had offered kindness without expecting something in return. Nathan listened without judgment. He thought about Grace waiting for him back home and realized that wealth could never replace love, trust, or family. That freezing night stripped away every title and revealed two ordinary people carrying invisible burdens. The next morning, rescue helicopters finally appeared above the snow-covered valley. Every worker was brought safely back to town, but something inside Victoria had changed forever. During the following weeks, she quietly reviewed employee records and discovered Nathan's years of sacrifice, his spotless work history, and the countless overtime hours he had accepted without complaint. She also learned about Grace and the financial struggles that threatened to take away the only home they had left. Instead of announcing a grand act of charity, Victoria began transforming the company itself. Employee assistance programs were expanded. Emergency family leave became available. Mental health support was introduced. Hardworking employees finally received opportunities they had waited years to earn. Nathan was promoted to site supervisor, not because of sympathy, but because everyone recognized his leadership, honesty, and calm under pressure. His new salary allowed him to keep his home, spend more evenings with Grace, and finally replace the worn bicycle she had ridden since kindergarten. When Grace hugged her father after seeing the new bicycle waiting outside, Nathan realized the greatest reward had never been the promotion. It was the chance to give his daughter hope again. Months later, Victoria attended the company's annual appreciation event. Instead of delivering another speech about profits and productivity, she spoke about compassion, humility, and the unforgettable night when a struggling single father reminded her what true leadership looked like. Many employees wiped away tears because they recognized that businesses become stronger when people care for one another beyond the workplace. Nathan never sought recognition, yet his quiet act of kindness inspired changes that affected hundreds of families across the company. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Kindness Forever for more inspiring stories about courage, compassion, and second chances. Special request: before you leave, tell us in the comments, what is the kindest thing a stranger has ever done for you? Nathan's story reminds us that the strongest people are often those carrying the heaviest burdens, and the smallest act of kindness can melt even the coldest heart. A shared sleeping bag during one freezing night became the beginning of healing, friendship, and a future neither Nathan nor Victoria ever expected. In a world that often celebrates power and success, their story proves that compassion is still the greatest strength anyone can possess, and sometimes the quietest acts of generosity create the loudest echoes of hope.